So insomnia has just struck for the first time in your life, and there's so much fear, there's so much anxiety, there's so much anger, stress, torment, because you feel completely out of control and you feel like you're going to be like this forever. Well, you are going to be okay. This is not forever, and this can be overcome. So this is from someone who suffered from insomnia for 20 years. So I know better than anyone else that you can overcome this. So it's such a strange thing. You may have slept well for 30 years of your life, and then for whatever reason, you get a poor night of sleep. And then you get a second one, and then a third, and then all the good sleep that you had in the last 30, 40 years, suddenly that's all gone. There's a lion right in front of your face. And when there's a lion right in front of your face, you're not there thinking about all the times there wasn't. Suddenly, you've gone from someone, in the matter of a week, from someone who used to be a good sleeper, to someone who's now broken, someone who now can't be fixed, to someone who is now a full-blown chronic insomnia. Anxiety, obsession, fear, worry. You've tripped and fallen down the rabbit hole of believing and thinking this completely false belief that you cannot be fixed. And it's really kind of natural, normal thing to do, because when you're trying to control and fix something that you just cannot get any control over, you instantly get that kind of feeling, okay, I've got to do more, I've got to try more, I've got to fix more. But the more things you do, the more things you try, the more supplements you take, the more Googling you do, the more obsessions, the more Matthew Walker, the more Andrew Huberman, the more hot baths, the more kiwi fruits, the more cherries, the worse it gets. The more it feeds the insomnia, the more the obsession grows and grows and grows. Actually, what you need to do is the exact opposite approach. But what you need first is the confidence, not the confidence, the absolute belief that you are going to resolve this, and you are going to resolve this quickly. If you've only had this for a very short time, then your brain hasn't learned these habits and behaviors. They're not fixed yet. So all you've got to start doing is putting the right behaviors in place, and you'll quickly move back to how things were. This isn't like this forever. You've only had it for a very short amount of time. You are going to be okay. So now you've got that confidence back. Now you've got that belief. What do you do? Have a think about the things you used to do when you were sleeping well. You probably more or less woke up at the same time every single day. You probably more or less went to bed when you were sleepy. And crucially, what you didn't do is all the things which were unhelpful for your sleep. You didn't start Googling about sleep hygiene. You didn't have to have your bedroom the perfect temperature. You didn't start getting obsessive about that coffee which you think you should have stopped drinking at 3 p.m. Basically, you more or less did the right behaviors at bedtime. You didn't spend ages in bed obsessing and worrying and thinking about sleep. And you generally did the right thing when it came to your sleep during the day, which is absolutely nothing. You carried on about your day, not thinking about sleep, not obsessing about sleep, not doing anything to try and force and manufacture sleep. That's the direction that you want to move back to. Is this something that I would have done a week ago? If it's not going to help with your insomnia, because we're always being told with insomnia, if you've got this problem, suddenly you now need to change your behaviors. You need to spend longer in bed, because if you're not sleeping enough, then it's very intuitive to spend longer in bed. All this does is weaken your sleep drives, fragments your body clock, and makes it even harder for sleep to come. So initially, set yourself a fixed wake time. Wake up at the same time, no matter what. Shift that focus from trying to get as much sleep as you possibly can in the short term to putting back in place these good behaviors that you used to have before you had this insomnia. Give yourself less sleep opportunity. If you wake up in the middle of the night, you feel calm, happy, relaxed, it's fine, stay there, do nothing. If you start feeling that anxiety starting to creep, sit up in bed, listen to a podcast, read a book, and effectively do the same things you used to do during the daytime when you were a good sleeper. Insomnia develops when you trip down that rabbit hole. Kiwi fruits, warm bath, obsession, limiting of your life, not doing the things you used to do when you're a good sleeper. This is where insomnia will stem from. It doesn't matter what triggered your insomnia. Perhaps you think that I slept poorly this week because of this stressful event, and that's why I have insomnia. Doesn't matter. It's the behaviors and thought patterns that come afterwards. So if you're really in the hole, know it can be beaten, know you can get out of this, and know that you've found the right path. I've got an entire channel for you that you can watch all my videos. Don't trip down the rabbit hole. Don't follow the wrong path. Don't go looking at Andrew Huberman. Don't go looking at Matthew Walker when there's more obsession, fear, worry around your sleep. Don't start grabbing that next supplement, super hyper focus on fixing the problem and putting insomnia right up in the front of your face. It's the only thing you obsess and worry about all day long. If you'd have never have done this when you were sleeping well, that's the direction you want to be moving back towards. Would I have done this when I was a good sleeper? If the answer is no, that pretty much guides you down the right path 100% of the time. You're going to be okay. This is not forever. Head down the right path. The right path is more or less in a gentle way doing the right behaviors when it comes to sleep. So imagine someone who took a long haul flight to Australia from the UK and then flew to America and then flew here. How are they going to sleep? Absolutely appallingly. So don't change your behaviors like this. Fix your wake time. Give yourself enough sleep opportunity, but not too much. Lying in bed, getting anxious and stressed and worried, sit up in bed and read a podcast. And do not make any behavior changes during the daytime. But the more you let insomnia push you, the more you let it push you back and back and back, the more it will take hold of you and start burying you. So you want to be fearless when it comes to this. You'll find that with the right behavioral changes, you will resolve this. You're not broken. It's just the anxiety. It's just the obsession. It's just the fear. It's just the brain taking on a new pattern of sleep because you're spending longer and longer in bed. You don't need to throw the kitchen sink at it. You just need to go back to doing the things you used to do when you're a good sleeper. Sounds ridiculously simple, but if you start doing the behaviors and having the thought patterns of someone with insomnia, that's what will develop from what is currently a short-term sleep problem. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like the world has imploded and just crumpled in on itself. You're going to be okay. I had chronic insomnia for 20 years. Had I have seen this video and put the right behavioral changes in place, that would have never have developed. So don't allow it to continue. Don't trip down the rabbit hole. Just go back to doing the things you used to do when you were sleeping well. And within a week, 2 weeks, I promise this is going to right itself. Sleepz.com if you want a step-by-step program. See you on my next video. Bye-bye.